Hey everybody, welcome to Divine Conversations. This is Eric. Thank you for joining me. So, I'm going to be bringing you guys your weekly messages for the Twin Flames. So this is for the week of, hold on, I should have looked this up, February 5th through to the 11th. We are in Valentine's season. And I know for a lot of us on this twin flame journey, those of us that are still in separation and not in union, this can be just as emotionally draining or just as emotionally wrecking as, like, say, the holiday season potentially was. I don't know if any of you... This video is for the Divine Masculine, and I don't think you guys are as affected by the moon cycles as maybe the feminine, but I know this last blood blue moon really stirred up some stuff for me. So if it sounds like I'm a little bit down or, agitated, if there are some emotions that come through during this reading, I apologize. I am working on being as objective as possible here. But please understand, I am still dealing with a lot of this full moon energy. It was really draining for me. I know the day of the full moon, and then right after, I had the day off right after, and I couldn't be more happy because literally all I did was lay in bed and watch TV. And I'm still kind of energetically drained by it, still moving through some of the emotions. So please bear with me. If you're interested, I'll get in depth. I'm going to talk about it more with the feminine video just because I don't think the moon cycles really affect the masculine energy. So I don't really want to, waste your time, guys and girls, of the masculine persuasion. All right. So I'm just going to get into your weekly message. This is going to be the same spread that I've been doing. And then I'm going to start with the traditional tarot deck. This is the Gilded Tarot deck by Sierra Marchetti. And the lighting might not be so good. Sorry. I wanted a change of scenery, so I'm doing this on my bed, but I don't know if... I hope you guys will be able to see it. But then also I'll be pulling some messages from the Crystal Mandala deck and also the Lightworker Oracle deck. Yep. So, let's just get into it here. I've already called in angels, meditated, and all that, but let's just say for now, Spirit, please make me a clear channel for the Divine Masculine Collective for this week, February 5th through the 11th. What do we need to know? Now, also, please understand that, one, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Also, please know that even though I'm doing this for this week, the time frame being the 5th to 11th of February, these messages are not time sensitive. Like, if you get to this message or this video like a month from now, you're most likely going to find, if you've been drawn to the video, you're most likely going to find messages that resonate for you at that time in your life, or maybe sometime soon, or maybe they resonated with you right before then, but either way, it still doesn't have to be just for this week. You could be watching this video and not really go through any of this stuff until 2 weeks from now. You know what I mean? So anyway, just keep that in mind. So for the Divine Masculine, Spirit, what are your messages for the Divine Masculine this week? I'll do one more shuffle. Okay. Divine Masculine. What's going on with you this week? Let's talk about this, yeah? All right. Divine Masculine, your overall energy is the 9 of Cups. All right, so wish fulfillment. Right under that, we have the Queen of Cups and the Fool and none other than the Ace of Cups. All right, so this is your underlying energy for the week. Um, and I feel compelled to show you this, but also the Five of Coins is right underneath that. I'm not going to go any further than that for now. We might get into that Five of Coins situation, but for right now, this week, your overall energy are the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Fool, and the Ace of Cups. So, already the Nine of Cups is talking about wish fulfillment. I'm also getting there's a little bit of the negative side of the Nine of Cups here, which can talk about overindulging in the pleasures of life, whether that be food, alcohol, sex, anything like that, like overindulgence. I don't feel like that's a heavy thing going on with you, Divine Masculine, right now. It's more of a caution, I guess I'd say, because what I'm really getting from all four of these cards combined, it's telling me a story of there is a wish fulfillment coming through with the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups here would symbolize the Divine Feminine. Someone who's very intuitive, someone who's balanced emotionally, someone who's nurturing and caring, and, you know, and especially in this card here, it looks like this Queen of Cups is like waiting for something, you know? And with the position of where her hand is on her abdomen, when I see this card, sometimes I think of pregnancy. Like, I almost feel like she's pregnant and she's waiting for, you know, her husband, her baby father, her masculine, whatever. She's waiting for him to come back. And to be honest with you, that is how a lot of, at least from my point of view, that's how a lot of the Divine Feminines feel right now. Like and if you can see it, I don't know if you can see it, but if you can see the expression on her face, it's one of almost a little bit of worry. Like, is he ever going to come back? So, but then we move to the rest of the message, which is the Fool and also the Ace of Cups here. So the wish fulfillment is coming through with you starting a brand new journey, either with your Divine Feminine or moving towards your Divine Feminine, and that's going to bring a fresh new start to the relationship, a new emotional start to the relationship. That's where your energies are right now, at least for this moment, this snapshot in your energetic field. Yes, Divine Masculine. So let's go a little further and see what else we can get out of this. But so far, I mean, that feels like a good way to start, right? So I'm going to be doing this normal thing that I've been doing. So we have 6 positions here. Your first position are your current surrounding energies. Second position are your current thoughts and feelings towards your twin. Your third position is where you are in relation to union. Fourth position is what you want your twin to know. Your fifth position is what's crowning you. What are you thinking about? What are you manifesting? What's on your mind? What are your current challenges? And the sixth position is the sixth position of the hidden energies, things that you may not be aware of, underlying energies, things that might be driving the situation, energies that might be driving the situation. I'm also being pulled back to this Five of Coins here. The reason why I feel like I'm being pulled back to that is because that has been a common theme for a lot of us. It was for the Divine Feminine for the longest time. It was a theme of, feeling left out in the cold, needing to ask for help from others. That is, but I'm being drawn to it here for the Divine Masculine, because now the tables are starting to turn, and I feel like the Divine Masculines are starting to find themselves in a position where now they're starting to feel left out in the cold for whatever reason. That could be many different reasons. It could be your twin is kind of like moving forward without you, and you're kind of stuck back in your same spot, and now you're starting to feel the energies that they were feeling. Maybe you're starting to feel these energies with like a karmic situation that you're in. I don't want to dive too deeply into that. I was just being called to mention that because I feel like that's almost like a little bit of a warning. Like, you guys are going to you as the masculine energies are going to start finding yourselves in positions like that potentially. But let's go further into the reading and see if I can get any more information for you on that. All right, your first position are your current surrounding energies, and that would be the Five of Wands. All right, so a lot of you are still dealing with this type of energy, this differing of opinion. Now, this isn't, this is like petty arguments, petty fights. This isn't something that's so bad. You know, it's not like it's the Five of Swords, but a lot of you are still conflicted. You still have a lot of differing opinions within yourselves. You also still have a lot of chatter from the peanut gallery, I feel like. But in relation to your overall message, let's depict it right here in the center, I feel like you guys are starting to break out of this. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys got this in the same position last week, the Five of Wands. And in that reading was titled Finding Diplomacy Through the Chaos. So a lot of you are still dealing with the chaos. I feel like some of this chaotic energy, this moment of chaotic energy, is being extended by this last full moon. And it's not in a malicious thing. It's not because you've done anything wrong. It's just that, or like you've failed to do something. It's more like more things are being brought up to the surface. Like there are still some things that are bubbling up to the surface that are facilitating this chaotic energy, but it's not just to bring more chaos into your life. It's so that you can really like iron this shit out and do away with it for good. So that's why you're still in this chaotic moment. But I feel like the overall feeling I'm getting for you guys, Divine Masculine Collective, like I'm feeling like you're starting to get a grip on it. You're starting to get a handle of it. You're starting to understand how to navigate it, which is a good thing, which is definitely a good thing. All right, moving forward, your current thoughts and feelings towards your twin. We have the Two of Swords. This is so very interesting. The Two of Swords has been coming up for me in my personal readings a lot lately. The Two of Swords is also coming up for the Divine Feminine as a collective in other readings I've seen. These are your current thoughts and feelings towards your twin. So, especially in relation to this Five of Wands here, Divine Masculine, you're really finding yourself between a rock and a hard place. And it's so funny. I was expecting to have this conversation with the Divine Feminine, not the Divine Masculine. So, this is really interesting. So, as I'm reading this so far, you're still in this chaotic energy. You want your wish fulfillment. You want to be with the Divine Feminine, but you're still caught. You're still stuck. You're still having to choose between things that you don't necessarily want to choose between. I feel like in this situation, when it comes to your twin, you're literally blindfolding yourself. Now, this really could be, I'm feeling like this is mainly because if you are actively blindfolding yourself, Divine Masculine, it's mainly because you're getting exhausted, right? This, between the chaotic energy and the differing opinions of the Five of Wands, and also the energy, it really, really, because let me tell you, man, this full moon energy, man, has been so intense. And yes, it does affect everybody. I just don't think it affects masculine energy as deeply as it does feminine energy. But I still feel like between the chaos that you've been dealing with, Divine Masculine, and then this latest moon energy, you're like, you just don't want to decide. You don't want to have to choose. You don't want to have to deal with this anymore, in a sense. You know what I mean? But it's like you can't get out of it now. You can't go back now. You know, and I do feel like this current moon situation is affecting you, maybe more than you know. And I'm seeing that because of the cycles of the moon here on this Ace of Cups. It's affecting you more than you know. And it's actually putting you in a position where you're facing things that you never really thought you would have to deal with or even wanted to deal with. And when it comes to your twin, you're like, I just don't want to see this anymore. For some of you, you're saying you don't want to see your twin like this anymore. A lot of you are having to choose between things and make some big changes in your life, and you're getting to the point where it's like it's becoming a lot, almost too much in certain senses, and you don't want to have to go through all this stuff just to get to your twin. You know what I mean? Like, you're starting to question, Why do I have to do all of this? Why do I have to make such major changes? Especially those of you that are starting to understand the spiritual connection here and are starting to really dive into your spirituality. You're starting to get into some situations or some thoughts, thought patterns that are like, well, wait a second. If this situation, if this relationship is all about unconditional love, why am I having to make so many changes to myself just to reach this person? And that's a really tough place to be in. I know for a fact. I dealt with that a few times, you know, before I even got to this twin flame journey. I asked myself that many times. Why am I having to change myself so much just to fit into this one situation? And in that sense, when I was asking myself that in the past, I was having to literally reshape myself just to be acceptable to the people that are around me, or for me to feel like I fit with the people around me. But here in this situation, Divine Masculine, you're having to make all these adjustments, not just to be with your twin, not just to get to your twin, but so that you can be the best version of yourself that you know you are, that you're supposed to be, really, the best version of you that you came here to be to begin with. This is not just, all of these things that are happening right now, all these things that you're going through are not just because so that you can be with your twin in union. All of this is happening so that you can clear away all of the shit. So that you can clear away all of the stuff, all the labels that people have put on you, all of the ways you felt like you had to be, all of the situations you've gotten yourself into out of obligation, not because you really wanted to be there. All of this is happening so that you can cut all that stuff away and be your true self, be your true authentic self. And then through doing that, becoming whole, it's about becoming whole. And so once you become whole, then you will attract the partner that you've been longing for, who ideally is your twin. You know what I mean? So try not to get too caught up in this Two of Swords situation, right? And that, I think, is definitely connected with the Five of Pentacles that we see here at the bottom of the deck. Because when some of you are dealing with this question about why am I having to do so much just to reach X, Y, and Z, you're starting to feel left out in the cold. You're starting to feel like you're inadequate. And if you had already had inadequacy complexes to begin with, those are kind of really being flared up right now. But if that is happening, please understand that it's not, those things you're not being triggered in these ways just so that you can suffer. You're being triggered in these ways so that you can clear this stuff away, so that you can reach a brand new emotional state. Yeah. This underlying message, this overall message here, there's a second part to it now that I'm starting to see. Some of you Divine Masculines are, your wish fulfillment is in you connecting with your intuitive side. You connecting with your feminine energy and balancing it. And that would absolutely begin a brand new start for you here in the Fool. And especially with the Ace of Cups here, you have a brand new emotional or a brand new spiritual start, right? Because you're finally starting to integrate your feminine energies. You're finally starting to get integrated with your intuition, and you're starting to understand how, how you work as a masculine energy, how you work with your feminine energies, and how you work with your intuition. And that'll absolutely be bringing you a brand new emotional start, right? But also for some of you, this Queen of Cups here does signify the divine feminine, your counterpart. All right, so moving forward, in your third position, you have where are you in relation to union? And that is the Seven of Wands, which is good, which is very good, especially in light of how you're seeing your twin right now with the Two of Swords. Like you can't make a decision. You feel like you're in you're like between a rock and a hard place. But when it comes to where you actually are in relation to union, you're still standing your ground in many cases. Now that could be a good thing in the sense that you're standing your ground against this chaos and you're saying, no, this is what I know I want and I'm going for it. In some other cases, and this would be more why some of you are feeling like this Two of Swords situation. Maybe, sidebar, you might be picking up, Divine Masculine, you might be picking up that your twin, your Divine Feminine is feeling this way, okay? But some of you are actively feeling the Two of Swords towards your twin, and you're sitting here in this situation of, well, why am I having to change so much in X, Y, and Z, and why is my life being uprooted so much like this? And so now you're starting to get defensive when it comes to the situation. You're starting to get defensive against having to change anymore, having to adjust anymore, having to grow anymore. And that is actively putting a block between you and your twin. Now, this could also, this Seven of Wands here, if you are defending your old way of life, if you're defending yourself against moving forward and growing and expanding spiritually and becoming a better version of yourself than you know you are at this moment, you are actively putting, well, your twin is feeling this. Your Divine Feminine is feeling this. And it's causing them to kind of be like, well, what do I do now? Right? I do feel like some of you Divine Masculines are kind of backtracking a little bit. And that's mainly coming from this Two of Swords energy. Like, I could look at this and say, okay, Five of Swords, okay, Seven of Swords. Yeah, you got this chaotic energy surrounding you, but, you know, when it comes to you and your union, you're standing your ground, you're defending yourself, blah, blah, blah. But if some of you are seeing your twin as the Two of Swords, some of you are starting to, like, I feel like some of you are starting to backtrack and be like, maybe this is not for me. Maybe this isn't what I really want. And to be honest with you, I mean, that is your call. You are absolutely allowed to do anything you want. There is such a thing as free will. There are a lot of people that are out there saying, you know, this is your twin. God wants us to be together, so this is going to happen no matter what. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's true. God does want us to be together. That is part of the plan. But at the same time, we all have free will. At any moment in time, we can all just turn around and be like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And go in a completely different direction. And if that's the case, if that's what happens, then okay, that's going to be painful for the twin or for the individual that's still trying to invest and make this happen. But at the same time, you're going to be matched up with something that'll meet you on your level. So you really aren't losing much. You know what I mean? So that's fine. But that was a little bit of a sidebar. I feel like I'm really going to get into that more with the Divine Feminine video because I actively feel like that's what's happening on a lot of cases. I mean, all right, I'm going to get into this now really quickly. I started dealing with the latest full moon energy like about 3 days before the actual full moon event. And I was already feeling this pull to literally walk away from the twin flame situation. At first, it was the twin flame situation altogether, but then it was just the situation with my specific twin. And I had been in this situation before. I mean, I'd been in this position before where I'm questioning whether I should walk away or not, but it wasn't until this moment in time that I actually had the wherewithal to say, screw this. I'm not doing this with you anymore. I am going to honor myself, I'm going to choose myself, and I'm going to say I'm going to move forward and I'm going to find a situation where I am treated the way I want to be treated. I'm loved the way I know I deserve to be loved. I mean, the main phrase in that moment in time for me was, I don't want to be treated like this anymore. I don't want to be treated like an afterthought. I don't want to be treated like I'm a secret. I am no one's secret. Okay, so with that said, I had to deal with the fact that I felt like I was moving forward and doing all this work to better myself, not just for the sake of union, but for the sake of myself, especially in coming out of a 9-year relationship that resulted in marriage that I'm now trying to get a divorce from. Like, that's in the works. It's like, I want to better myself. I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. So I'm going to do this work because I know this is what I want. And ultimately, it'll bring me towards my twin. That's kind of like the icing on the cake, right? But I feel like my twin really isn't doing the work that everyone says that they're doing, you know? And I'm just spinning my wheels here all by myself for nothing. And that's where we get into the situation of free will. Because, yeah, the ultimate plan is for all twins to reach union. But if one of the twins is not choosing to do the work that they need to do, well, then they're not going to reach they're not going to fulfill their part in the bargain. But that's not going to leave the one twin that is doing their work hanging out to dry. God is going to line them up with someone that's on their level. So, Divine Masculine, there are some of you out there that are literally choosing not to do the work. You're looking at your Divine Feminine or your Divine counterpart and you're being like, I don't know if this is worth it. I don't know if I want to give up what I have built here just for this. I mean, what is this anyway? I don't even really know if this connection is real. Whereas, which is so funny to hear some of you say that, because then, I mean, Spirit has been standing there right here with you all along, giving you all the signs. And some of you see the signs. Some of you actively see the signs. Some of you know exactly what this situation is, what this connection is, and you are actively choosing not to make a decision. Not to do the work that you need to do, on a deeper level you know you want to do, to reach the position you know you want to be in, for whatever reason, whether that be fear, pride, ego. I mean, some of you, I'm going to just go out on a limb here and say some of you are still very much connected to that devil energy. And that is okay. I mean, there may be some animosity in my voice, there may be some resentment in my voice. I am of the feminine collective, and I am still human. I'm trying to be as objective as I can with this, but I mean, that is absolutely okay. That is your choice. That is your choice. There is no judgment here. If whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do, and that is fine. But I really believe that's why this Two of Swords is coming up. Number one, some of you are starting to see that your counterpart, your Divine Feminine, is feeling this way. Has been feeling this way for some time now, especially during this full moon cycle. But then also some of you Divine Masculines are taking on this energy because of whatever reason. You know, you're refusing to do it, you don't understand, you're scared. I mean, I'm just going to move forward because I feel like I've said everything I need to say there. Fourth position. What you want your twin to know. Knight of Wands. All right. So the Knight of Wands has been coming up for the Divine Masculine a lot lately. Some of you are feeling some sexual energy towards your twin, which is great. That's nice. But what I really see this Knight of Wands as right now is a flake. Someone who's super passionate. Many of you know that you know where your passions lie, but you're not committing to anything, really. There are a lot of you Divine Masculines out there that are really playing the field right now. So this doesn't even have to be towards your twin. I think the message you're trying to send to your twin right now with the Knight of Wands is, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to commit to anything right now. And that's fine. That's okay. It makes sense, especially with this Five of Wands energy surrounding you. There's still a lot of chaos. There's still a lot of differing opinions. You're still trying to iron a lot of things out. So it makes perfect sense that you would show up as the Knight of Wands here. The Knight of Wands here. So the message here that I'm picking up for most of the Divine Masculines towards your Divine Feminines is, I'm just not ready to commit. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about you, Divine Feminine, but I'm also passionate about a lot of different things. And I'm still trying to figure out what those different things are. Where do my true passions lie? And that's cool. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying so hard not to sound jaded, but it's just coming out. I just can't help it. I mean, that's great. That is absolutely part of this journey anyway. As part of figuring yourself out. Especially, a lot of the Divine Masculines, man, are really having to do some serious soul searching. Because you've kind of been slacking on it. You know, you've just been allowing people to tell you who to be. Instead of figuring that out for yourself. So now you're in a position where you're digging. You're digging for it. And so, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Fifth position, current challenge. What your current focus is, what you're manifesting, what's on your mind, blah, blah, blah. We have the Seven of Swords. Some of you are still thinking about how you've been cheating yourselves. In a sense, that's a good thing. Especially in relation to this Knight of Wands here. you know, you're coming to the realizations of you have all these different passions. But you haven't really been allowing yourself to express any of it. With this Seven of Swords here, a lot of you are still dealing with the whole thing of, gosh, I really cheated myself. I've been cheating myself. Some of you, on a more negative end, some of you are still actively playing the field. And this is more in relation to not necessarily your twin or the divine feminine, but also this is just like the human collective, period. Like you're really trying to pull a fast one over on a lot of people. A lot of people. And it still has to do with this Knight of Wands situation. Y'all aren't really ready to commit to anything, so you're just kind of jumping in situations and like pulling right back out immediately. It's so funny. It's so funny because I was meditating before I started doing this video, and a moment came up where I was talking to the Divine Masculine, and the Knight of Wands came out, and I was saying, it's like you're in and out, in and out, in and out, which makes sense because, you know, wands can be sexual energy, and, you know, he's got that wand there, so, sorry that got a little suggestive. But, I mean, when you think about it, that's really what I feel like is going on with the Divine Masculine right now, which is being facilitated by this Five of Wands energy because you have all these differing opinions, right? Within yourself, within the outside world, which is then causing you to look at your twin and the Two of Swords here and look at a lot of different situations as the Two of Swords. I mean, I feel like that Two of Swords is not just towards your twin specifically. It's around the whole situation, right? And so you're passionate in the Knight of Wands and you're saying, look, I'm passionate about things. I just don't know where my loyalties lie yet. And so as a result, you've got the Seven of Swords trying to get away with things, trying to, you know, sneak out of a situation and sneak into another one. And, you know, it's like I see a lot of you with this Seven of Swords here. A lot of you Divine Masculines are looking for ways to not have to explain yourselves, not have to. And look, you don't gotta explain shit to nobody. You don't gotta answer to nobody. But also, what I'm really feeling here in this Seven of Swords, it's like you're really trying to like not have to deal with things. You know, you want to get involved with a situation, but you don't want to do the work that's necessary to really have what you want, to really get what you want. Some of you are starting to realize with this Seven of Swords how you've been shirking your responsibilities, not just to like maybe your twin or whatever, but like to yourself, you know? But then some of you are still very much in that mindset of, I don't want to do this. I'm not doing the work. I'm not doing it. And I'm going to try and do anything I can to get away with it for as long as I can. And that is totally fine. It's totally okay. I mean, that is going to build some negative karma for you, but understand that karma is not a situation of crime and punishment. Karma is just cause and effect, y'all. Just cause and effect. That's literally all it is. I'm rambling. I hope you guys are following because I'm picking up all kinds of different things right now. There are a lot of different scenarios going on, so I'm just kind of rolling with it. All right, finally, in your sixth position, we have your hidden influences, things that might be driving the situation from this underneath, things that you might not be aware of, energies that you may not be aware of, stuff like that. We have the Sun. Okay. All right, that's great to see. That's great to see, especially with all this kind of negative stuff that I've been talking about here. Whenever the Sun comes up, you know, especially in light of unfavorable situations, it kind of diminishes the pain. Yeah, it diminishes a lot of the negative stuff that you might be perceiving in the situation. So the Sun in the hidden energies is actually kind of perfect. And it's saying to me that, you know, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to work out just fine. No matter what. Things are going to be illuminated. You know, in the situation where twins are going their own separate ways and, you know, are really, one twin is like really just not having the path and the other is continuing on. It's all for good. It's all for the highest good involved. You know, especially if you know, you're dealing with your true twin, and at this moment in time, you two, yeah, you met each other and you've been going through this whole separation thing, but you're either both of you are really just not ready, or one of them is just not ready to really take that leap. And then you guys go your separate ways. The sun says it's fine because you're still connected and you're still on the same, you're still on a timeline together. So, you know, it may be a couple months, it may be a couple years moving forward, but everything will work out. Everything's going to work out just fine. Just fine. So that's good. That's really good. All right, I'm going to move on. Get one message from the Crystal Mandala deck. Spirit, please, let's get one message. Oops, let's get one message from the Crystal Mandala deck for the Divine Masculine for this week. And I do like to shuffle so you guys can see it, so that you know that this is legit. I'm not pre-picking the cards. Alright, one more shuffle for the Divine Masculine for this week. Best messages for the Divine Masculine this week. Best messages for the Divine Masculine this week. Ooh. Okay, we've got two cards here. We've got goodwill and purification. Yeah. Goodwill and purification. Now, purification is already talking about this full moon cycle. I know it's been very cleansing for me, a very purging time, cleansing and healing. So absolutely, that's definitely what that's talking about here. But I am going to read from the book. If I can find it. What did I do with the book? Oh no, guys. I'm sorry. Bear with me. There it is. Because I want to see what more of the specific meanings are. So here, I'm going to do this so that you guys can see this better. I'm just going to, maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done this before, but, oh shoot. Oh shoot. Wait, no, don't do that, Eric. You're just going to confuse yourself. All right, sorry guys. I'll do this better next time. But okay, we're going to start with goodwill. Yeah, this card here. Hope you can see that. The lighting's not so good. And this is Goddess Gaia and Ocean Jasper. All right, channeled message. Goodwill. Understand, guys, that no matter what's going on, even though this may seem deceptive and dark and like whatever, please don't lose, please don't lose goodwill. Is what I'm channeling. I don't know really how else to say it, so I'm going to go to the book, but we're really being asked to hold on to unconditional love here, regardless of the circumstances that might be seen on the outside. But here, I'll read this. We bring you the empowerment of goodwill. There is a type of spiritual power you can co-create which benefits and protects you whilst mutually empowering others to take their journey and experience divine success. This spiritual power, known as goodwill, is generated by how you feel inside and the attitude you cultivate towards others. Oh boy. When you have value, it is easy to recognize the value in another. When you know you have value, it's easy to recognize the value in another. When you feel encouraged by the universe, it is easy to encourage others. As you put out support, encouragement, and goodwill for the success of all beings, this energy is amplified and turned towards you. I feel like this is also a message for the Divine Feminines. Like, I know the Divine Feminines are watching. They're definitely watching this video to see what's going on with their masculine, especially if you're feeling the way I've been feeling lately with this whole full moon energy and all that. But so, Divine Feminines, you're being asked to hold goodwill towards your masculine. And Divine Masculines, you're being asked to do the same, but you're also being asked to do it towards yourself, right? I mean, I know a lot of you are stuck in this Two of Swords energy, this between a rock and a hard place, and I get it. And it's tough. and you're still having to defend yourself through all of this chaotic energy. And I get it. I understand. I truly understand. So you're being asked to hold goodwill towards yourself. Try to see the best aspects in yourself. Try to see how you're doing a lot of great work. You're working really hard. Regardless of where you stand, how you feel in the current moment, what your current energies or emotions towards the situation are, you're still doing a lot of really good work, and you're being asked to recognize that in yourself and to honor yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. You've come a long way so far. All right. Yeah. Also, especially if you're in this energy of the Two of Swords, and you're looking at your twin like, why the hell am I doing this? Like, I don't think I want to go any further, but I also don't want to leave you behind. Like, if you're stuck in that situation, also you're being asked to hold goodwill towards your twin. All right? I know a lot of you Divine Masculines feel like you've just kind of been thrown into this situation against your will. Please understand that is not the case. Okay, on some level, you chose to be here. On some level, Divine Feminines chose to be here too. We all chose this. We all have free will. Whether we are manifested in physical reality in a physical body or not, we all have free will. Okay? And when we signed up for this life, we volunteered. We knew what we were getting into. We mapped it out. We planned it out together. All of us. Whether it's a karmic partner, your parents, your friends, every person that you come into contact with in your lifetime, you have some sort of contract with. You met up with them before you were born, before you manifested into this world, and say, hey, we're going to meet up around this time. We're going to try and accomplish X, Y, and Z, and we're going to see what happens, right? So please hold goodwill towards yourself and towards your twin, all right? I mean, that's going to be the most helpful thing for all of us. Even if you don't, I'm going to go to an extreme and say, if you don't even want to see your twin again, if that's how you feel about this right now, you can still hold goodwill to them, towards them, and be like, look, I still hold unconditional love towards you, but at this moment in time, I just need to go my own separate way. I wish you the best. I'll see you later. I love you. I mean, there is no hate, no shade, that kind of thing. If it's that extreme for you, you can still find a way to hold goodwill, because ultimately, in the end, that's just going to come back towards you. Yeah. All right. Finally, because this is already a 42-minute reading. So let's just go on to the next one. Is purification. That is Angel Lahabiel and Black Tourmaline. Black Tourmaline is a wonderful stone, very cleansing, very, very healing, very grounding. Black Tourmaline. Okay, so. Excuse me. All right. Purification. We bring you the gift of purification. This is your chance to let go of what you no longer wish to hold. It might be a toxic burden within your body, mind, or emotions you wish to be free from, so you can feel lighter, happier, and more energized to attend to the things that matter most. This is absolutely a message coming from the full moon energy. Okay. We come to you at a time when you have become overloaded with energies, thoughts, or even perhaps physical toxins or possessions, inhibiting your capacity for joy and vibrancy. If there is any fear within at the prospect of releasing something from your life, be reassured. This cleansing is a loving grace that will help you feel happier. We are not here to take anything from you, but rather to free you from what you no longer wish to hold on to. The more you are willing to allow us to assist in this process, the better and clearer you shall feel. Insights into your relationships, choices in life, and issues that may have confused you will become very clear. You will become more aware of your truths and feel empowered to live your life on your own terms. There is only benefit to gain here, and our blessings come straight from the loving heart of the divine to assist you. This is absolutely a message about moving through this full moon energy for you, Divine Masculine, because you are all still dealing with the purging process of all of these differing opinions, all of this petty arguments and all that petty bullshit. But this is also why you are dealing with the Two of Swords energy. okay? And that's also why this is how you see your twin. These are your current thoughts and feelings towards your twin. Because a lot of you are like struggling to release this stuff. You're struggling. You don't know what to keep and what to leave behind because you feel like either way it's going to be a huge loss. And a lot of you are dealing with familial situations. You're dealing with family situations with, you know, maybe there's your mother or a sister, a grandmother, an aunt, some feminine energy that's in your life that you're having to separate from in order to move forward on this path. But you feel like if you do that, it's going to be incredibly disappointing for them, and you know it's going to destroy their lives and blah blah blah. That unfortunately is a bit of a codependent situation. Yes, and what purification here is saying, it's like we're helping you. We are here to help you purge. We are here to help you get rid of this stuff that is no longer serving you. Guys and girls, I mean, if this situation is causing you so much stress, if these situations are causing you so much stress and trepidation towards moving towards what you know in your heart you really want, why wouldn't you want to let go of them? Why wouldn't you want to release this burden from yourself? Right? I mean, it may be painful, but think about it this way. Is it more painful to stay in the situation indefinitely, or to just rip the Band-Aid off and move forward and allow yourself to heal so that you don't have to deal with that energy anymore? Which is worse? Which is the lesser of two evils here? You know what I mean? And the divine is standing here, the spirit, source, God, angels, ascended masters, light beings, we're all standing here saying to you, we can help you. You just the channeled messages, you just have to let it happen. You just have to let us. Because ultimately, all we're doing is trying to strip the unfulfilling things from your life so that you can replace it with something that is much more fulfilling. There are a lot of you divine masculines that are really struggling with this current full moon energy, because also this full moon in Capricorn, I'm sorry, not Capricorn, Cancer, highlights relationships. So if a lot of you are dealing with toxic relationship ties within family or close friends or something like that, yes, I'm sure you are having a really hard time with this. I'm sure you are. But please understand that the divine is always here for you. Okay, fine. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. One last card. We're going to pull some messages from the Lightworker Oracle deck. Whoops. And so you can see I am shuffling because that card just flew over there. And you can hear it. Okay, I think we got our message here. It just kind of flew out. Life Path. Life Path came out. Now, already I'm seeing a progression. If you look at the card here, and I'll show you in a second, obviously there are babies here, but there's also the growth cycle of a fetus here. So this card is absolutely talking about why we came here to begin with. And already the channeled message here is we chose to live a certain life. And circumstances, what we got here, obviously everything is kind of a roll of the dice once you actually get to the 3D plane, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't still follow your life path. So the message here in this life path card, Divine Masculine, is you need to understand that even though you feel like your whole world is being ripped out from under you, turned upside down, turned inside out, you're losing everything you once thought you wanted, you're losing everything that you worked so hard for, understand that anything that you're losing is because it's standing in the way of you serving why you came here to begin with. It's standing in the way of you serving your life mission. It's standing in the way of you walking your chosen life path. All right? So please, just let it go. If there is something
that is leaving your life. You know it's leaving your life. You know you need to remove it from your life. It's literally being ripped away from you. Don't fight it. Let it go. Because ultimately, it's not serving you. All right? I'm going to leave it there. This was a heavy message. It's almost an hour long. And yes, I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me this time. Thank you for lending me your attention for this damn near an hour. As usual, Instant Go. You can email me. You can make a donation to the channel if you want to. I would really appreciate that. It would be really helpful. All of that information is in the description box below. I love you all. Have a great week, and I will speak with you soon. Bye, guys.